What's up, collective? Let's see what's in the energy today. So for this collective, I'm seeing you've dealt with a lot of manipulation, a lot of dark witchcraft thrown at you. And then they probably try to accuse you of being the witch. But your spirit team don't like that very much. We respect spirits. We don't shit all over them, you know? And when a spirit gets shit on, especially by a group of people, they're going to have unfinished business with said people. And I mean, they're all grouped together for a reason. But these people have quite a few spirits very, very angry with them. I wonder why. And they could have tried to say that you were crazy because you experience these things. And I'm sorry, they kind of find us. We don't really just get to say, hey, you know, we're going to be psychic. It just kind of happens. There's nothing fucking crazy about it, especially when you research and start understanding it in order to use it correctly. It's nothing evil or satanic about it. Especially because we still have a heart. We still care about people greatly until they do us wrong. So, and we know what frequencies are compatible with us. We can tell the difference. We can sense the energy. And we're not going to channel anything that's not of our frequency. But you're getting a huge opportunity because of whatever somebody made you miss out on. This could be an ex, or this could be a couple. Maybe it's referring to a breakup of some sort. Put the roles where it resonates. Yeah, you've got a lot of demonic entities after you. Over some money, possibly, or property. Got a big price on your head considering how many people are involved, huh? Yeah, but you're not letting them stand in your way and stop you. You're barreling right through them. And everything's going to balance out. And you're going to be seen as an angel. people could be very aware of what you've been going through, and they're going to understand that this was an unnecessary battle that we had no choice but to fight. And considering we were outnumbered and it was unfair from the start, that's pretty impressive that you made it out, or you're making it out, because God didn't keep you alive for no reason. Yeah, you're here to guide and lead others, because you can lead yourself. You don't have to have advice from outside sources that can't even lead themselves properly. They just follow their leader right to the fucking fire like a bunch of sheep, and then get mad that, you know, they're not flame retardant. But that's the consequences of fucking with liars. You know, they will deceive you into promising you all these luxurious things, and when the plan fails miserably and it slaps everybody right in their face, they're going to learn that it wasn't worth it. That they should have just kept it moving. But yeah, you're putting your foot down. You're not dealing with these people's shit any longer. And they know that. We have no reason to lie. We'll tell them to their face if they have the balls to talk to us, but most of them don't. They just like doing the talking behind closed doors, because they're pussies. But you're not. You're healing and evolving from this. And you're sailing into calmer waters. These bitches threw you out in shark-infested water and left you to drown, while still bleeding from the wounds they created. Like, literally threw your ass in the ocean, said, bye, bitch, and ran off with all your shit, wallet and all. In the North Sea, nonetheless. You know, one of the worst fucking oceans out there to be thrown in the middle of. By yourself. No life jacket. No nothing. But you survived. Even with the sharks swarming you the whole time, you survived. And you punching them bitches right in the nose. You said, bitch. Not today. I didn't swim this fucking far just to die. And you're not letting the loss or the lack overpower your willingness to do better. You're allowing this to better you in so many different ways that you're becoming a whole new person. You've learned a lot from this experience, and you've also been able to get a lot of clarity on who's on your side and who's not. And unfortunately, for a lot of you here, there is not many on your side, but in spirit, your team's way bigger. Way bigger. These people weren't ready to meet your spirit team face to face either. But they're about to, if not already, I'm sure they're haunting them enough over there. Hell, they've even told us of crazy haunted experiences they've had. I wonder why. I would haunt your ass too if I were them. Yeah, exactly. Look, they're haunted. They're fighting all kinds of spirits over there. Bitch, the spirits ain't fighting us. We make peace with them. We treat them like they're still human because they're still spirits. They're still, you know, you're supposed to respect spirits or people nonetheless until they keep disrespecting you. But once they spit in your face, you know, you can't help it. And right now your angels are wreaking havoc in quite a few people's lives. Because they saw what they did to you and they know what they did to them. And since it was a group effort, it's not fair that you don't have any support. But that's just going to be even better when you prove to them that you're not as dumb as they thought you were and you take them down by yourself. That's going to be something to laugh about. You're going to be hysterical and celebrating because you're not going to have to deal with this shit anymore. Aries energy, god of war. They turned you into a fucking badass. Someone that doesn't like the chaos, but bitch, we will thrive in it. And you ain't gonna like it coming up against us. Exactly. Because bitch, we'll drag you and your demons right back to hell. The thing about the devil is the devil respects us because the devil knows we can get out. The devil's not capable of that. The devil understands who's on our side. And even though the devil's done some evil ass shit, they're understanding that you're nothing to be fucked with. You're not to be touched. They're already receiving pretty heavy karma for what they've done to you, just by your existence alone. Never mind you fighting back. But that was a lesson that God was trying to teach you. You notice the better you treated these people and the better you tried becoming, the worse they treated you, the worse they became. You would do all these things to try to prove to these people that they mattered. Try to prove to them that you cared about them, that somebody loves them and has their back. But only because you didn't have that kind of love and support yourself. You understand how important it is to have support. So you try to naturally support other people, but God had to teach you that some people you can't. Some people will literally birth you and just to end up trying to stab you and kill you later. Like, it's fucking wild. But you learned a lot of valuable lessons, and because you decided to become the opposite of what they were, that's why you're going to win. Because you're on the light side, you're on the good side. And you're not allowing them to ever do this again. That's what makes you different. You're very balanced. You're very much in alignment, or you're working your way towards full alignment. When you're in alignment, you're in your north node fully, and you've got all arrows pointed in the right direction, not the wrong one. But I think that was one of the lessons you needed to learn too, was if it takes a lot of stress to get you to move or do what's right or show you that certain people in your life aren't for you, then that's what you had to experience. So you would learn your lessons and not repeat them. That's kind of why you had to see the demons come out in people, so you could understand that you were not the demon, because they tried to paint you out as the demon the whole time. But so you could understand what demons really look like and how they function. They're not worth having around or being attached to, because they will try to fuck you up. I'm telling you. These are people that are like dead inside. They act like they have emotions and feelings, but they only feed into the negative. They don't try to alchemize situations. They don't try to see the brighter side of things. They're very much pessimistic as fuck, but they can pretend to be optimistic. But naturally, they're very pessimistic people, very much not a joy to be around unless you don't live with them. Or unless you side against them, really. Once you side against them, yeah, you'll probably see their fucking true colors. Maybe. Depending on who you are. I'm getting you don't care how bad of a history these people have or what they've done. You're still not scared of them. Not anymore. You've realized who they were and that they're just weirdo fucking creeps that have to poison people and try to pick on people because they fuck their life up, you know? They could have a habit of inviting people in, saying, oh yeah, you can come stay with us. We don't mind. And you never leave, bitch. It's like, get out. Literally. And when you try to leave, they steal your car. They fucking go ape shit, trying to throw all your shit away. Like, it's fucking insane. Just to drag you right the fuck back. Like, they don't want people leaving once they get here. And then they'll make you sick over time, get power of attorney over you, or try to paint you out as a lunatic so they can get power of attorney over you and tell you that you're out of your mind, and along with everybody else, just so they could steal every little penny they can from you until you die, and then they can claim money on your life insurance, and then voila, they're not as broke as they were before, but they're just going to blow through it and have to do it all again. Because that's what they do. It's a pattern, not a coincidence. Those don't exist. But you're being guided to put an end to that shit. Because you, I'm sure by now, understand how karmic cycles work. Or you're learning. And we're not going to be responsible for passing that curse to our kids or our kids' kids or anybody for that matter. We're going to be the ones to deal with it. So you're getting hit with all kinds of fucking karma from evil ancestors that didn't know any better, didn't know how to help themselves or speak up, more importantly, about it. That's how you really get it, bitch. I'm telling you, staying silent. Wrong thing to do, and that's what they're going to try to scare you into, everybody. But that was the problem, was a lot of the ancestors didn't have social media or ways to publicly do anything about it. We're just lucky we're in the day and age where we do. It quite literally is saving a lot of our lives. But I feel like a lot of this is unheard of or becoming heard of now because of that reason right there. Not only that, they do so much shit to you, it makes you feel like a lunatic for even saying it or suspecting it. And you have to keep convincing yourself like, no, bitch, this is actually what's happening. Because it's so hard for it to register. You're living in a fucking horror movie, it feels like, but it's like you just get immune to the scary part. Like you just have no fear at that point. And that's the thing. We ain't scared of no ghosts, bitch. We've already faced our fears in all kinds of different areas. And usually on the other side of fear is just finding more of what you do or don't prefer. There's always an opportunity for you to learn. And sometimes we get held back so we can learn everything we need to know before moving forward, so we can move forward the right way. There's always a bigger reason why things are happening. And even though all you might be able to see is the physical reason, the spiritual reason's always different. It's always way more positive. And even though it feels unfair, and you're absolutely at a big disadvantage at the moment, it's all going to work itself out because you're not allowing anything to get in your way anymore. You're fighting for yourself. You're fighting for what's right. And going through this transformation is changing your life. But it's also helping you shed that old skin, that old version of you that would cower down to them in silence and regret and hold all these burdens and secrets and lies and allow them to convince you that you were the problem and that they were loyal to you. And yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. None of them were. You got to see these people firsthand slowly start revealing themselves from an early age, but they made you pick up on the patterns. They made you see things that most people don't typically see. And these were people you loved and trusted with your fucking heart. People you would have gave your life for to protect, that ended up just wanting you to die the whole time anyways, so they could profit off of it. Such lovely people. But they helped you see the truth, whether that was their intention or not, even though it wasn't. And you saw that they were way too happy with themselves for stabbing you in the back and lying and doing all this crazy manipulative bullshit to you. They were so happy. But anytime you got a level up or anytime you got ahead, oh my God, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the fucking world. You watch grown-ass people start crying because you got something good happening for you. Something that could have protected you. And these are people that were supposed to love you and protect you. It's not easy going through some shit like that. I'll tell you what, especially because you had a big heart. You allowed these people to toy with you as long as you possibly could until you were about to snap. And you probably did, honestly. You probably did. But one lesson I've learned is even though it feels like you're literally about to lose your fucking mind because you're that severely stressed from all this bullshit and chaos that you're not asking for, but they're telling you you're the problem. Yeah, that'll drive a motherfucker crazy. But it's like getting that close to losing it and snapping into insanity made you more sane. It's like something just clicked. Like you had to get pushed to the edge so you would finally jump and see that spirit had you the whole time. And that just because you can't trust the people around you or the people that you thought you could, doesn't mean you're not loved. Doesn't mean you're not appreciated. Doesn't mean you're not supported. God isolates those who are special. And yes, while you had to fight a lot of battles alone, it wasn't for no reason. It was to show you that God had you the whole time. And you're going to be proving to other people that it's possible. And to show the non-believers that God does exist. Oh, some of them are starting to believe now. You bet your ass they are. Because it's very loud and clear. Very loud and clear. They could have had very supernatural things happen right in front of them. That was God warning them in front of us too, nonetheless. We could have seen it with our own eyeballs, very supernatural, unexplainable things. And that was God's warning. But they didn't listen. They didn't want to believe God existed because that meant they were busted. And they thought they could just, I'm sorry, God, and get away with it. No, absolutely the fuck not. If you take somebody's life and then think just going behind closed doors and saying, I'm sorry, God, forgive me, is going to make it fucking go away and make it better, you're sadly mistaken, bro. Please, please do yourself a favor and gain common sense. I mean, fuck, dude. But these are the kind of people that even when they see it, they don't want to believe it. You know, they'll do everything to convince themselves that that's not what's going on just to keep their facades going. And I mean, as a group, nonetheless, I'm sure they already knew they needed an army to come up against you because they already understood that you have powers and abilities that they don't. And the reason why is because you're not an evil piece of shit. Every time you need to make a move, you look to God. You don't look to anybody but God. You try to see what God has to say about it, what direction God's trying to lead you in. You let spirit take you. And while we enjoy advice and constructive criticism, we're not going to get offended by it. We really, a lot of us don't even need it. Sometimes we just need validation of, you know, are we doing it right? Like, because we're the kind of people that a lot of things we've tried doing in the past have failed. So it's taught you fear. It's taught you fear of failure, fear of repeating past cycles, staying trapped in the past, letting your past failures dictate future ones. But just because you might have stumbled or it might not have went the way you were hoping doesn't mean you're not going to win. Doesn't mean you're not going to come out on top. It's there's always a possibility of you turning it around and it going in your favor. You just have to be able to take the action in order to do it. And you're a very honest person, very, very caring. You don't like trying to control people. You don't want to control people's lives. That's what you've been struggling with. The fact that it's going to be fucking hard to try to put these people in their place, because we don't like that. We don't just say, hey, we want you to do this with your life. Hey, no, I don't think so. You're going to go this way or you're not going at all. We don't do that. But the fact that they're going to force us to put them in fucking jail, or at least sue the shit out of them, whatever the fuck we can get away with at this point, because we deserve something. But it just goes to show how big of a heart you fucking have, how different you are. That's a blessing. Because you're not cursed. You're undoing the curse. And unfortunately, you have to experience the curse in order to break it. But you're always ready to give people your heart. But now you're going to be very cautious about your energy, period. And you're probably struggling with even wanting to juggle another relationship or friendship or anything for that matter. Like you probably feel lonely sometimes, but even though you know you're not really alone, but like you could be very hesitant. Like maybe you don't know how to meet new people, or maybe it could feel like juggling a new relationship or a friendship would be too much. And maybe you could also fear that you would get in a commitment with somebody or get in a relationship or friendship or whatever the case may be, and they're just gonna do the same shit to you. Especially if fuckheads are still on the loose, you know, they'll convince them real quick that you're the problem. They've done it for years. But you're not letting them ruin you, and you're not letting them get to you anymore. You're detaching, and that's the best thing you can do. Once you detach from the evil, you can see it for what it is. And that was the hardest part. Because while they thought you couldn't live without them, apparently, you were almost convinced you couldn't. But everyone had to learn the hard way that, bitch, one less problem without you. Literally. Actually, they come with millions of problems that they want to put on us. Especially when they know we've got bigger problems ourselves. Oh, they love that shit. But that sword they stuck in you, they basically stuck in themselves. only they're soulless at this point. So I guess it don't hurt them as much. But you're putting the final nail in the coffin. And you're about to seal it. You just had to make the right decision in order to do so. But you're cutting the cord. Yeah, because you don't fuck with somebody that's got motherly instincts and very, very in touch with spirituality or spirits, period. The reason we can even hear them in the first place is because we understand their frequency of love. But when you try to fuck with the people that we love, or you try to fuck with us, or even ancestors from the past, that's not going to blow over well. Because I'm telling you, bitch, we will come in and cut you. Cut you right down. And we don't have to slice your throat in order to do so. We don't have to do any slicing for that matter. That's fucking awful. But you know, soulless people do soulless shit. And other soulless people agree with it, I guess. But yeah, you're coming out of the confusion and the lack of direction, and you're being pushed in one direction. Because you've been getting little sneak peeks from your spirit team about all the gifts and the rewards coming in for you. And because they were so many steps ahead of you this whole time, you had a chance to recollect yourself and learn them like they've been learning you. So now you're going to be the one ahead. Because they expected you to be dumb, because that's what they are. And they're going to find out the hard way, not with God on your side, you're not. God will give you the right information, bitch. Ask me how I know. But yeah, they wanted to start war with you. You're just getting justice. Because that's what we care about. That's what's right. And I'm getting you're going to be reaping some motherfucking demons. Becoming their own little grim reaper. And dragging them right to hell. Yep. You wanted to make us the villain, bitch. All right. We got you. We'll come in and destroy some shit now. Don't think for a second just because we won't stoop to their level doesn't mean we're not going to fucking play back. Oh, we'll play. And we'll win. But you're making people realize how small they really are. They shouldn't have been sizing themselves up to you anyways. Especially when you were at your lowest. What the fuck were they doing sizing you up? Especially when they were bigger than you. And they still needed a whole fucking army? Says a lot. But yeah, it's because you scared the shit out of them. That's what it was. That's exactly what the fuck it was. Maybe from an early age, you experienced a lot of supernatural things that they could not explain. And they have low-key feared you because of this. Especially considering they know what they did. Specifically to you. But other people too. I mean, how is it that you're possibly finding out all this shit when you weren't even there to witness some of it? You're just piecing it together. Even with a lack of clarity or lack of information, you're finding the information and you're figuring it out yourself. You're literally solving your own case, gaining evidence, and you're finding the right evidence. You're being led to it. And that's pretty hard considering you've had swords on you the whole time, following you everywhere. Ready to try to stab you once they got a chance. But the secret's out. And I mean, they wanted to watch and stalk you so much, you're just putting on the show. You're at least giving people something interesting to tune into while exposing the shit out of them. And you're also helping other people. Because that's what good people do. We ain't gonna, like, we will try to help the bad people, but bitch, if you don't want our help, then you stay there. Die there. We tried. We did everything we possibly could. We gave them plenty of time to own up to what they've done or make it right. And they don't want to repent. Because again, they literally think it's as easy as just, God, forgive me, please. No, bitch. Not for the crimes you motherfuckers have committed. I don't fucking think so. You're hurting God's children. You're hurting innocent people. And that's the point, is you're pure. You're innocent. You're not a evil fucking prick. You're actually very wealthy. Or you were supposed to be. I just saw air. Air like the live. You're an heir. Exactly. God works in mysterious ways. But you're the heir of God. God chose you specifically. And had certain other people choose you too, because they saw the goodness in you when other people were trying to use it and hurt you. But now you can see that that person or these people always had your back, as I saw her name come across the screen from somebody else. You could always see that these people went out of their way to show you that you mattered. And they couldn't have that. I just heard a gunshot. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm guessing that's the reason why it was all supposed to go to you. Gunshot confirmation. Your loved one found out what they were going to do to you and how they were treating you. And learning the truth. Gunshot. Another one. Learning the truth made them put everything in your name. Confirmation. And because of that, of course, your shithead relatives or whoever the fuck found out couldn't have that. So they literally started taking this person out, possibly right in front of you, in sneaky, diabolical ways, like covertly poisoning and stuff like that. And pulling off their whole little scheme, power of attorney, you know, all that shit. Until it was just time, I guess, until they decided that that was it for this person. But the dumbasses didn't consider the fact that you can't kill energy. Energy, once it exists, it doesn't stop. Confirmation. Confirmation. Just because it left the body doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Doesn't mean it's not pure. Doesn't mean, you know, because I've heard people try to say that, yeah, when you talk to spirits, you're just talking to demons. No, bitch. The demons are in people, obviously. But that's what happens is these spirits go to the innocent ones and through them show these motherfuckers that you're not getting away with this. And they'll even help you inherit some of their energy so you can do what's right. And let's just say these people wanted to help you in specific ways. Like, for example, they wanted to put you in singing lessons or something. And of course, you know, couldn't have that. So from the spirit realm, they taught you how by yourself to show these motherfuckers, oh yeah, bitch, they don't even need a teacher. They can do it themselves. Gunshot. But because you're helping God and doing God's work, of course you're going to be blessed. And I'm getting that if you were really young when this incident occurred, the reason why they couldn't come tell you is because they didn't want to spook you. And I mean, how do you tell a child something like that? But unfortunately, before they could figure it out, they weren't able to relay the message. They were hoping you'd find out by the inheritance. Confirmation. But you're lighting the way for others who have similar or the same story as you. Or even other people too that don't even have it as bad as you. You're helping a lot of people. Confirmation. And you're showing them that anything's possible, with God on your side especially. You were a walking test. And they were tested by seeing how they would treat you. They're the ones that gave up their anointing by wanting to go down the dark path. Wanting to do evil shit. That's not our fault, but they want to punish us for it. Just because we know that they took that path, like, bitch, get over yourselves. And the crazy part is you could probably sympathize with them in a way of understanding why they did it. You probably have made peace with the fact that you know why. And whether we like to admit it or not, it's because they're just that low. They're that selfish. They're that greedy. They're that consumed with doing evil things that they don't care who they hurt. They're just angry that their life's not turning out the way that they wanted it to, so they got to take it out on you. Especially because they don't know who they are. That's the biggest thing. If they knew who they were, they would know their worth, their value, and they wouldn't have to take from others. They would be the ones wanting to help take care of you. The way it should have been, the way you would have if it was roles reversed. Yeah, but you're being called to balance it out. And unfortunately, that's how you get all your shit back. Because they're obviously not going to give it up willingly. Yeah, you're coming into unity because you're smart. You're able to figure it out. And somehow, even when you don't know the exact answer, you always have the right answer for everybody else. But that was just to show you that you were capable of helping yourself too. Yeah, and you're somebody that's a lot of people adore you. A lot of people look up to you. A lot of people trust you. because they also are good people and can see your authenticity. And they like to hear stories. They like to hear about you. They like the way you express yourself. And I'm getting they like how you're a wild card. Unpredictable. You're always coming out with something new, something different. And it's crazy because a lot of you could be the type that kind of just pulls it out of thin air. You don't even need a whole bunch of shit. A lot of the things that you're creating are coming from you, or you're creating yourself, you know? But you have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of talent. And you're a very hard worker. You work hard when you're in a position where you feel like that's all you can do, you know, that like that's your only way out. But you don't have to really work as hard as people were hoping you would, because you enjoy what you do. And while it may be a lot, it may be yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. A lot more than people would think. But it's got its perks too. And the good outweighs the bad. Especially once we got out of our own way. And made others get out of our way too. Because you had a lot of people trying to convince you that you weren't right, that you were doing whatever you were trying to do wrong. Trying to make people think that whatever message you were trying to give out was the wrong one or whatever. But no, this was all a test. This was all to force you to trust yourself over them. Because every time you trusted them, you got fucked. But you're ascending, you're rising. Into love. Or you're rising up from love. Because that's what happens when God shows you love. It looks real good on you. And God didn't want you staying in solitude and getting too comfortable staying there. Now, the solitude was absolutely necessary in a lot of cases, but you were being gifted a whole new life and a whole new support team, a whole new support system. That way you could see that there's still good left in humanity. And even though they might not be in your general vicinity, they still exist. That's giving you the hope that humanity's not fucked. Because obviously we are starting to understand what happened to humanity or previous inhabitants of this planet when they got too out of hand. That's when God says, all right, bitch, I've had enough, and wipes your asses right off the planet. Time to restart. Literally. Mystic. Opportunity. But this time is different. This isn't going to be a reset like the whole population. It's going to be the rapture, the apocalypse, so to speak. Only the unveiling of the truth and who's on what side. That's why you're seeing through, metamorphosis. That's why you're seeing through a lot of people right now. A lot of people are exposing their true colors. For a lot of us, that's a good thing. But for a lot of us, that's not. It just depends on which side you choose. But the earth angels are literally wreaking havoc in the people that chose the dark in their lives. That's the point. Not only that, all the ruckus you're causing is waking other people the fuck up. Yeah, it's for everybody's own well-being. So they could come into union with themselves too. You have to be aware of the dark in order to see the light. And if you have your own darkness that you're not willing to face, then I got bad news for you. You're going to be forced to. I don't know what to tell you. But as long as you stayed with pure intentions and have a good heart and you know you're doing the right thing for the right reasons, you got nothing to fucking worry about. But this is for humanity's own good. And I feel like a lot of this exposing the evil is going to make people realize that, holy shit, I'm not as bad as I thought I was. I'm not as bad as I thought I was. I thought I was the bad one. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I've done some dumb shit, but I haven't resorted to that level of evil now. Duality. I haven't resorted to that level of evil. Intuition. And it's going to be having a lot of people looking at other people like, bitch, what are your true intentions like? Because they should. They should. You never know. Especially if you can't read their energy, bitch. I don't know how you're making it through. I really don't. At this point. Because damn, dude. There's so many fake motherfuckers out here. It's ridiculous. Like. But people that can sense the energy can sense that shit from a mile away. And you already know it's going to be balancing itself back out. And you're confident in that. Not only that, you've gained a lot of confidence from this situation as a whole because it was either make you or break you, bitch. And it wasn't going to break you. But you're going with the flow. Instead of swimming upstream, you're going with the current. And it's going to lead you right to a new home. One where you can be at peace and meditate and do whatever your little heart desires. Because you're not out here wreaking havoc. That's not what you desire. No, absolutely the fuck not. I mean, we're glad that we can fight. We're glad that we, that we got it, but we'd rather not. If we don't have to, bitch, we'd rather not. And that's another thing that you probably have been in this situation where you feel like you're suffocating, like you feel like you can't say nothing around these motherfucking people. And that's not right, and not only that, it's like they're living their best life because you're suffering because of them. Like, what the fuck? That's some evil, sadistic, twisted ass shit. And it's a group of these motherfuckers just waiting on you to break just so they can get away with it. Like, dude, if you could really live in peace with yourself after doing something like that to somebody, then I don't know what to tell you. You need to be in a padded room, bitch. Grippy sock special. Just for you. But, they try to say we're the crazy ones. When we're knowledgeable, that's the only thing. We research and we investigate things that don't seem right. Especially when we're in the middle of the shit show. You're damn right we're going to be looking into it and figuring out what the fuck to do. The fuck you think this is? But your healing is taking you on a whole new adventure. And I'm getting that you're going to be venturing off far away from all the bullshit. And the people that try to put you in it. And then tell you that it was your fault. No, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it's not. Yeah, but you're going to be doing it gracefully because you have faith. Just because you weren't able to show up to your fullest potential before doesn't mean you're not gonna now. And I'm telling you, by this point, the longer they let it go on, the more in trouble they really are. Yeah, because you're embracing who the fuck you're becoming. And you are going to stop at nothing to have peace. And while it might not be as simple as you'd hoped, and I mean, maybe you didn't even expect anything luxurious, maybe you weren't even really dead set on a huge chunk of wealth coming at you, but it's going to be very fulfilling because you've leveled up enough to where once you can obtain it, you're going to be ready for it. And because you're fulfilled within yourself, you're not going to be at a lack when the time comes. Truth. Courage. Because you have the courage to tell the truth. Something a lot of people don't have. That's what makes you different. And you're pretty focused on love. And if you're not going to have anyone able to give you love, you're going to give it to yourself. And that's helping you purify your energy and emerge from the darkness as a whole new fucking person. Like you took off that cocoon or that shell that you've been carrying this whole time. And now miracles are coming in for you. Because you're passionate enough to go towards them. And you have enough compassion for yourself and for other people, enough to go with the flow, not stress yourself out so you can think it through clearly and do what's necessary and what's right so you don't fuck it up. Because that's obviously what we're not trying to do this time. Because we're used to fucking shit up, bitch. We're used to it not going right, okay? We're used to things being very fucking complicated. But I'm getting that this new beginning, you're not going to be... Bitch, you're not going to be seeing it like that anymore. Everything's going to be easy after this shit. I promise you that much. God damn. I promise you that much. You're literally, you've got one of the hardest paths, but it's going to be the most beneficial. Exactly. You're going to enjoy this voyage, this trip, this experience, because it's really going to help you become the leader that you were meant to be. Because you're such a beautiful person and because you're such a wise leader. That you were able to lead yourself even when everything went silent. And lead yourself in the right direction. You led yourself to healing. So in turn, you can lead others to healing too. That's a special gift. That's an ability that not many people are capable of. Yeah, strength. Success. You're strong enough to accomplish whatever the fuck you put your mind to. And that's why you're going to have this breakthrough. Because you believe in yourself enough to make it possible and you're grateful for everything you went through. That takes a very special person. And while, yes, we don't prefer it, let me just make that clear. We do not prefer it. We are grateful for the lessons that we've learned from it. Because the lessons become blessings once you learn the lesson. And you're only getting in higher level commitments at this point, bitch. We ain't got time for games. We ain't got time for half-ass love. We ain't got time for no bullshit, no fuckery, no using and abusing and overdoing, and no. Either you in or you out. That's it. And bitch, the first time we see you do some sly-ass, stupid, slick-ass shit, you're out. But you taking action and not letting anything stop you is helping you awaken. Because that's the point. You can't awaken if you're being led. Like, That doesn't mean you can't have help, but you had to experience leading yourself throughout the toughest times so you could awaken. That's part of the trials and the tribulations, to learn to surrender and learn the energy so you can go with the flow instead of constantly stressing about not knowing which way to go or not knowing what to do or whatever the fuck. No, you're letting your intuition guide you now because you've realized that that's so fucking important. Once you can trust yourself, you can follow it because you know you're not going to lead yourself astray. That you can trust yourself. Power. You're going to take a lot of pleasure in your power. You're going to enjoy it. And I think that's another reason why tarot is set up like a court, like spiritual court, because not only are you an angel of bringing in justice in the spiritual, you're able to bring in justice in the physical. But when you do that, that's what helps you awaken. Because you were able to put all the bullshit aside and do what was necessary, what was right. You're doing God's work. And now you have the ability to believe in yourself so you can believe in God fully. And you're an inspiration. You're like a lighthouse for people. And your light is guiding people to healing and into awakening themselves so they don't have to continue repeating this cycle over and over and over and over. And even our enemies, bitch, at the same time, we're kind of trying to guide our enemies in the right direction too. It's just they don't listen for shit. Obviously, if they ignore signs straight from God himself, bitch, I don't know what to tell them. I really don't. But you've got a higher perspective because you're functioning more in spirit than in the physical. That's what happens when you start taking on the energy of your highest self. You gain a higher perspective, a higher way of viewing things. And you can see both sides. You can see both meanings. You can see the physical meaning. You can see the spiritual meaning. You can understand both. That's important because you've had communication. You've had the right communication from either extraterrestrials or spirit guides or shamans or whatever the case may be. God himself. I mean, there's so many different forms these entities come in. But it all goes back to one consciousness. One. Universe. You. One. Uno. One consciousness. Living out different experiences. And once you learn to embody that and really like deeply tap into that and make your brain click when it comes to trying to understand it, the more you accept it, the more you ease yourself into it. And the more you'll start seeing things happen that's just unexplainable in the physical sometimes. Like the only way we could put it into words for people is using movie references and shit, because that's literally like the only way to paint the best picture of it. But I think it's also meant for you to discover that even in the darkness, that crazy good things can still happen. Miracles are still possible. And even though it might not seem like a huge thing to other people, it pleases you. It tickles you. You're grateful for the little things. You're grateful to see that there's something more, something beyond our comprehension right now. It's exciting. Especially considering the cards we were dealt here in the physical realm were not the best. They were very shitty. Very Dollar Tree. They just hiked the prices up $20, you know, in Dollar Tree. Yeah, but you like to give love. You like to do positive things for people. And you chase after things that give you dopamine. Because obviously we've been deficient in it for a long time. But you're a unicorn. You're rare. And it's okay to doubt. But you have to delete that doubt for yourself. You know, I would doubt more external things than your own self, you know. Definitely don't hold anybody to a higher expectation ever than what they're giving you. Because, bitch, you're going to be disappointed if you do. If you expect them to get better, then that's because you're the good one. But you got to learn also that you can't sit around and wait for people to do better. You're going to be waiting forever because they're going to be continuing to come back and do it all over again. And they're just, you don't want to get dragged into that cycle any more than you already have. Tomorrow is another day, but it was in reverse. So you're not even trying to wait till tomorrow, bitch. You're trying to do shit now. You want things to change now. You said, fuck this shit, dude. I've had enough. Yeah, I've regenerated, all right. I've fucking regenerated. I'm ready. You know, like, we're done with this shit. Yeah. Because of these people abusing their power over you. That you get tired of that. You get so fucking tired of that. But it's all right to, yeah, let's be crazy. All right, bitch, you want to fucking tell us that we're crazy? We'll start acting crazy, all right? We'll show you fucking crazy. Oh, man. They ain't seen nothing yet. But I'm getting even you and the animals are teaming together to drive these people out of their fucking minds. Even the animals got your back, bitch. They pissing them all off. They said, all right, bitch. All right. Yeah. Don't care if you like me. We don't give a fuck. They want us to be all torn up and butthurt over the shit. No, bitch, we're relieved. Or at least we would be if they would get the fuck out of our lives and quit trying to manipulate everything. But you've reached the point where you sincerely just don't give a fuck who likes you and who doesn't. But that's the way to be. The people that care so much about their image that they can't even admit they fucked up, you know, it's just, I don't know what to tell them, but, and see, that's the thing. If I give wrong advice on the readings, I'll go back and like try to retrack it later. If I can catch it, I would go back and let you know, hey, you know, maybe it was this way, or maybe I misconstrued things. You know what I mean? I would always go back and own my shit. Not that I can recall ever having that happen, but we're the kind of person that we would take accountability. And like, just because I accidentally told the wrong message doesn't mean I'm not going to retrace it back and be like, you know what? Nah, I don't feel like saying it. Or, you know, no, I'm going to be like, actually, no, hold on a second. No, this is what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm going to correct myself. I'm not going to be in fear of looking dumb. No, we're human. Sometimes we just need more of an understanding of what the fuck's going on before we can make valid calls or judgment on it. And whatever you've been going through has probably been keeping you from having fun or allowing your inner child to come out and express itself. But this too shall pass. Every problem is temporary. There is not one problem on this planet that's permanent. Once you die, bitch, it's over, you know? So that just goes to show it don't last forever. But a lot of the problems you're going through currently are not the way you're going to go out. Yeah, don't panic. Because it's not as serious as it might feel or the way it seems. And while it is don't get me wrong, most people would be fucking bald by now, literally like ripping their fucking hair out, dude. I promise you, most people, if they even survived, you know, a lot of them would have taken themselves out by now. I could see that very easily. And even though it might be considered a very dangerous situation, you understand that it's happening for a reason, and not to allow things that might have felt catastrophic and huge at one point in time, not to allow that dictate your life or throw you off your path. You can accept it. Yeah, you start treating yourself better because you know you can do it now. After this, you know you can overcome anything. Yeah, treat yourself. Eat whatever you want. Do what the fuck you want to do. Follow your passion. Follow what's going to excite you. Yeah, you just want to be drama free. You want the bullshit to stop. That's what you want, so go after it. You're not the one wearing a mask. You've got nothing to fucking worry about. They do. Yeah, you are lucky. Because these assholes thought trapping a lion in a cage was a good idea. But, surprise, bitch. That lion breaks right through that fucking gate. Obviously, it's a fucking lion. They were so busy focused on how they were going to keep you there that they didn't see that you got out. And now that you're mauling them, I don't know what to tell them. Say it louder, exactly. Because it's better to be alone than in bad company. And we fully agree there. That just goes to show we're not the bad ones. Predators flock in groups. Yeah, and you're done worrying about this shit because you know you're not the one in the wrong. You know you're not doing anything fucking wrong. And they do too. They know you're not doing anything wrong. Yeah, you're doing whatever it takes to just relieve the pressure. Because obviously you've got the pressure of multiple lives on you right now. Close your curtains, close your eyes, sleep. So yeah, you're to the point where you're understanding that rest is very important. And maybe because you're struggling to relieve the pressure that you haven't been able to rest fully the way you want to. But you're going to get through it, and you have no obligation to take advice or anything from other people. Confirmation. Oh my God, someone said fuzzy tooth. Yeah, especially people that can't even fucking brush their own teeth or keep up with their own hygiene and then want to blame other people for it. Bitch, you got me fucked up. You got me fucked all the way up. They need to wash their ass and brush their teeth instead of coming for a collective. That's what they need to fucking focus on. Yeah, and they had you, look, they had poor innocent collective not fucking okay, but not even able to talk about it. Like, how you going to try to come in and hurt that puppy? But a whole group was like, oh no, must destroy the puppy, you know? Like, no, that's not what we do, actually. Thank you very much. But your inner child is very proud of you. And it's ready to be let out. You're ready to feel like you can have fun again. Yeah, you just had to learn to get out of your comfort zone. And not allow the stress to push you past your breaking point. That you could do other things like beat the pillow instead, or I mean, even just something as simple as telling the truth of what really happened. That does relieve a lot of the pressure, especially when you can be heard by people who understand. But yeah, you have rights. Use them. They just didn't want you to know you did. Yeah, and you're not in the mood for them either. You ain't playing fucking games. You bitch, you better stay away from me. That's all I gotta say. You better stay the fuck away from Collective, because Collective ain't playing nobody's shit. You've got to be literally sent from God himself, bitch. And we'll hear God. We'll hear God tell us, oh yeah, that's the one. Or no, that's not it. You know, we'll hear God this time. Trust me. Yeah, you just had to learn to stand up for yourself. Because standing up for yourself felt unsafe. It felt like you were being punished for doing so. But it was only to make you stronger. And you're going to be celebrating because of that. Because what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Quite literally. And I'm telling you, once you get over some shit like this, you're going to have the confidence level to fucking soar. Because that's what really matters. Confidence isn't being... Confidence isn't a negative thing. And a lot of people try to categorize it as that. They want to look like they don't believe in themselves for whatever fucking reason. No, don't be buying people's negative ass belief systems. Confidence is good. That's how you win. Because you don't have to have anyone justifying your actions for you. You can justify them yourself and lead yourself in the right direction, whether other people are with you or whether they're not. And I mean, what goes around always comes back around. So even if it felt like everything was crumbling, especially that a lot of fucked up people were getting away with what they're doing, no, they're not. Not if you're willing to take action. Because I'm telling you, once you do, that's when you become their karma. And that's when God allows you to drag them bitches. And by the end of it, you're going to have a cute little smile on your face. Meanwhile, you've got them motherfuckers dragging full of mud, all kinds of shit, hitting stumps, fucking toothless. You're going to have them all fucked up. But that's what they get for teaming up against you. Because, I mean, bitch, if you needed a whole army to go against one person, that just goes to show you're weak and powerless. And hey, we don't have to force nobody to follow us. Everyone loves us willingly because we're not evil assholes. We like giving to people. We like being positive. We like helping people. We get satisfaction out of doing that. A lot of people don't. They just want to be jealous because you're doing something that they're not capable of doing for themselves. But it's all right because we don't function on that frequency. We're happy for everybody until you fuck us over and then try to get away with it. That's the only time we ain't gonna be happy for you, bitch. That's when we're gonna be like, all right, time to rip some fucking cords out from under these motherfuckers because it's over. Especially you out here picking on people smaller than you that had lesser than you. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. We ain't dealing with that shit. You either treat people right or get the fuck out of the way. We're going to bully you if we see you bullying us or anybody else for no fucking reason. So I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Come in acting right or don't come at all. But if anyone wants a private reading, just reach out. They're $50. My link tree's in my bio. I appreciate all the love and all the support. I hope you got something positive out of the messages. I love you guys, and I will catch you next time.